Hi students, I am Dr. KGP Santosh Kumari, working as Associate Professor in Vignan. In today's video, I am going to talk to you about 5 different aspects of technical English communication, which is the course which you are going to study. Here, the first one is the importance of technical English communication and the relevance of technical English communication in your engineering, and what is the syllabus that is prescribed for you, and what are the books that are suggested for you, and what is basic difference between normal theory course and an integrated course, and what are the learning outcomes, or what is the course outcome after learning this lesson. So what are the learning outcomes, or what are the learning outcomes which you get after completing this course? So that's very important. Now this is the syllabus. These are the contents. So this is Mindscapes, which is the textbook, and this is Speak Well, which is the lab manual. So in integrated course, unlike your theory course, you will be learning the theory components and lab components in theory session, and you will be executing them in the lab. So that is very, very important. So the first thing which you have to learn is, what are these? So listening skills, speaking skills, reading skills, writing skills, and thinking. So generally what happens is, whenever you are learning any language, or whenever you are learning a new language, you will listen to your parents, you listen to your neighbors, and you listen to, and by in a process you will be learning the language. That is the reason for mother tongue you don't require any teacher. Your listening skills act as your teachers. So when you are speaking, so when somebody says you are listening, you don't know whether you are listening or hearing. What is the difference? Listening is a psychological process, whereas hearing is a physical process. So when you're listening, you yourself feel it and you yourself know. Nobody knows whether you're really listening or pretending. But when you're reading also, generally what happens, if you're holding a book and reading something, if your mommy asks whether you're reading, you said, oh yes mommy, I'm reading. But really you know whether you're really reading or pretending. These two skills, listening and reading, these two listening and reading skills are receptive skills. Listening and reading are receptive skills. It is felt by the individual. Whereas people can identify that you are a good speaker or a good writer, or your language skills. They can assess your language skills through your speaking and writing. So these two we can call as dominant skills. So these two, listening and reading, are receptive skills. Speaking and writing are dominant skills. So if you want to do any of this, first of all you should think. Nowadays thinking is also added as one of the skills. Okay, so listening, speaking, reading, writing, all these 4, listening, speaking, reading, writing, all these 4 skills are very, very important in order to acquire the language. And each skill these four we can call as skills, and each skill, it has its own sub skills. Like when we are eating, directly you don't eat only rice, you eat along with a couple of or maybe dal or a couple of things along with that, or you can say some munching along with that. So whenever you are talking about these things, each skill, it has its own sub skill. So coming to listening, you have listening for various purposes. So why you listen? At times you listen to get the information, complete information, or just like that, if you want to gather or acquire information, you listen to, or for detailing you need to listen, or to know the tone or attitude of the speaker, you should listen carefully. And extensive listening, so you'll be giving your ear to many aspects where you will enhance your listening skills. And for individual sounds, you can listen for individual sounds. So all these are sub skills of listening. And for speaking, basically you have four sub skills. The first one is fluency, and when you are speaking fluently while by using apt vocabulary and whatever is required at that juncture, if you are fluently speaking, so there fluency plays a vital role, and fluency is very, very important when you are speaking. And then I've already said just now, vocabulary. Language is very, very important. Words, vocabulary is nothing but usage of words. So when you're speaking, whether you're using exact words which are required there or not. And then grammar, grammatically correct language you're speaking or not. And then are you using apt pronunciation? Pronunciation in the sense, in your you have English which is used all over the world because it's a global language, and English being used in many areas or many places, you can feel like you have Indian English, you have American English, you have Chinese English, German English, so on and so forth. But even within India, you have various dialects, various places where people will speak English based on their mother tongue influence. So some people may understand that English, or some people may not understand. So there is a concept called RP, which is nothing but received pronunciation, which is accepted all over the world. So this received pronunciation you are supposed to speak. That's very, very important. So these are the four basic sub skills of speaking. Now coming to reading, you have these four sub skills. So the first one is skimming, is nothing but just go for a superficial reading. Just you have a look for the gist. In order to get the gist of a content, you skim the text. And then if you feel that this concept is very interesting, then you scan. You go in detail about reading the text. And then if you feel that's very interested and curious, you go for intensive reading. And if you feel that topic is very interesting, and if you want to get some sources and learn by taking the help of various gadgets, various sources, that is nothing but extensive reading. So these four are the sub skills of reading. So first one, skimming, scanning, intensive reading, and extensive reading. These four are the sub skills of reading. Now the next one is vocabulary, because you have seen the sub skills of listening, speaking, reading. Now for writing, what are the sub skills of writing? So the first thing is grammar, because sentence structure is very, very important. Sentence structure is very, very important when you are writing, and the usage of vocabulary is very important. So sentence structure and all that will come under grammar, whether you're using correct vocabulary, correct grammar, like noun usage. Obviously nouns, you don't feel any discomfort, but usage of articles, usage of prepositions, or usage of adjectives or adverbs, or relevance of subject verb agreement in the respective sentence, all these things matter when you are writing. When you are talking about lexis, lexis is nothing but vocabulary. Lexis is nothing but vocabulary. So how you are using the words. And then cohesion and coherence, or coherence and cohesion. That means whether there is logical connectivity between each and every sentence or not. And then format. When you're writing a letter, there is some particular format. When you're writing an email, there is a particular format. When you're writing a report, there is a format. So in such a way, whenever you are using any style of writing, you will be having different formats. And punctuation is very, very important, because when you're using any statement, if there is a difference in the punctuation, automatically the meaning gets changed. So be very, very cautious when you are keeping a punctuation mark. And syntax and semantics. Syntax is nothing but sentence structure, and semantics is nothing but meaning of a sentence. So all these are the sub skills of writing. So till now you have seen various skills of English language, especially for any communication. What are the skills that are required to develop? And you have seen the sub skills of listening, speaking, reading and writing. Now coming to the syllabus. So the first unit is environment. So each unit you have 4 components. Each unit you have 4 components. What are the 4 components? Writing, listening and speaking. And for each reading comprehension, 2 passages you will be working on. I'll tell you what to do. And then writing, you have grammar and you have writing comprehension. And listening, you have note taking task for listening. And for speaking, any oral presentation. Any oral presentation. Actually, these are the individual components in all 5 units. Okay. So now just we'll have an entire syllabus in a nutshell. So the first one, how to regain green cover and solution to plastic pollution. How to regain green cover and solution to plastic pollution. These are the 2 passages you have to read on your own, and what you are supposed to do is underline each and every word which you feel difficult, because difficulty level varies from person to person. So whatever word you feel difficult, underline the word and take the help of any of the best dictionaries which has, you're not supposed to go for the dictionary which has Telugu and English. You need to take the dictionary which has English to English, and in that dictionary you have to go through the meaning and the usage and the sentence which is written there, and check whether that meaning is apt in this or not. And then articles and prepositions, which is there in writing task. Articles, prepositions, verb tense, subject verb agreement. So all these I have kept in the first unit, because in the first unit you should learn how to write the language properly, so that you can use them when you're writing your next questions or essays or any passages, or when you're writing anything on your own, when you're describing anything, or when you're writing about yourself for any concept. In order to write deliberately, you should know all these aspects. These are very, very important for any writing task. And coming to the listening task, you'll be having a TED talk on water harvesting, and you have to listen to that and take notes. And then speaking is also very important, and in the first unit you'll be introducing oneself or introducing yourself as a part of speaking task. So in unit 1 you have 2 reading comprehensions, and then you'll be having writing task, which is exclusively grammar portion, and then you have listening, and one important writing task which is there for you is letter writing in first unit. Letter writing is very, very important, because starting from leave letter, all the there is a lot of importance and requirement for writing letters nowadays. It may be e-letters in the sense the people you are mailing different letters. In the sense, you write a letter, you draft a letter, type it, and it should be in a proper format, and you attach it and send emails to the respective people based on the requirement. So letter, it may be handwritten, that means manuscript, or it may be typed and sent to somebody. For anything, the letter format is very, very important. So you should know the letter format. So these are the experiments which you do in your integrated course. Now I tell you what is a integrated. Already I have explained you the difference between a theory course and an integrated course. Now here, for each unit you have lab experiments and theory activities. So in lab experiments, what you do is you will be enacting almost listening and speaking, LS. Almost listening and speaking will come under lab experiments, and reading and writing come under theory. So in all the units, reading comprehension is quite common. Reading comprehension is common. And then here in experiments, you have to speak for 1 minute, like just a minute. And you need to listen to a TED talk and take notes. So first experiment is just a minute, and second one is note taking, and third one is interactions. You need to interact with others, and you have to enact a role play. And here in activities, one is reading comprehension and other one is note making. You have to make notes. Remember, here it is taking and here it is making. So note taking is a listening activity and note making is a reading activity. When you read, you make notes. When you listen to a lecture or when you listen to an audio, you take notes. And then letter writing will be under your activities. So what are the activities you will be doing here in the first unit? The first one is reading comprehension, and then note making, and next one is letter writing. And lab components, just a minute, and note taking, and followed by interactions. So what is the outcome you are going to get? Outcome is nothing but what you learned after completing this unit. So you are able to comprehend. Comprehend means understand the material related to environment, because the theme is environment. You will not get essays from those two passages. You will get any concept may be asked, and you are supposed to write in your own words about the concept, and it has to be something like general essay which you will be writing. So I may give a question like what is the impact of corona on the environment? You should be in a position to answer. In those two passages you don't get that, but you should use the vocabulary which you learned in that reading comprehension, and in general you need to work by getting some vocabulary by revising your textbooks or various internet sources, and get some vocabulary related to environment consciousness, and you are in a position to answer that question. Okay, and so that is the first outcome which I expect, or any teacher for that matter expect from the student after completion of this unit. And second one, speak about yourself. So when I asked you to speak about yourself, don't start with your parentage, or don't start with what happened previously, nothing like that. When I ask you to talk about yourself, you need to mention what you are, what exactly your skills are, what are your hobbies, what are your extracurricular and co-curricular activities, and what about your academics, or what you want to become in future, what are your short-term goals, what are your long-term goals. All these things you have to think of, and you need to jot down on a paper. Jot down means write down on a paper. And you should be ready with your self explanation. You should know what exactly you are, what is your long term and short term goal, what you want to become in future, what are your hobbies. All these things you have to work, because everyone, if I ask immediately to talk about yourself, it is very difficult to work on. So what are the projects you have worked on earlier, or what are your strengths, what are weaknesses. SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and challenges, what you have. All these things you have to work on that. And then you should know by the end of this unit, because in just a minute you will be talking about yourself. And then listening to an audio and writing or taking notes from that. Taking notes means taking important points from that, like running notes. Okay, so all these three I expect by the end of unit 1. So what you will be learning in unit 1? To talk about yourself, and to take notes from a listening activity, and to write down any essay from the theme environment. Okay, so unit 2 is space technology. So space technology, one is Hubble telescope and other one is Genesis of ISRO, or the two passages which are prescribed for you in your syllabus. Hubble telescope and Genesis of ISRO. These are the two passages which are prescribed for you. And coming to writing, here you'll be working on formal letters and grammar models. Models are nothing but auxiliary verbs. And then paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means writing something in your own words. If there are any quotations, or if there are any passages which you have taken from any text or something, you should learn how to write in your own words. Otherwise it will be called as plagiarism. You're not supposed to copy somebody's words or somebody's written concepts. Next, listening. You need to listen to a debate on colonizing the moon, and here again it is note taking process. And then speaking, you will be speaking on mini presentations. You will be doing mini presentations on some general topics. So coming to the experiments and activities, so here mini presentation and impromptu presentation. So mini presentation and impromptu presentation. So what is meant by impromptu presentation? So in the first unit you have given your individual presentation on tell about yourself, and then you have listened to an audio and you take notes from the audio, and then you have worked on interactions, that means dialogues. You have exchanged the dialogues on various functions, and then next you have worked on the mini presentation. That means we'll be giving you a topic and we'll give you time to present it. So you can take the help of any charts. You can do a chart presentation, or you can do a blackboard presentation, or you can do any kind of oral presentation, maybe in a team or individually. And then impromptu presentation means, so till all this is over, you are able to speak on your own. Now after coming onto the dais, I'll be giving you a topic, and on the topic you are supposed to speak for 1 minute or maybe 2 minutes. So that's nothing but impromptu presentation, something like extempore. So you have elocution and extempore. Elocution, you'll be given some time and you have to work on the concept and you'll be speaking. But if it is extempore, on this we'll give you a topic and we give 1 or 2 minutes time. You have to ignite your mind and you're supposed to speak. So that's very, very important. So that is this task, impromptu presentation. And then again in theory you have activities reading comprehension and letter writing on various other themes. So in the second unit the theme is space technology. So we may ask a question like recently what happened in space technology, what are the recent advancements in space technology, or what is the PSLV project which was launched long back, or is there any improvisation on PSLV project recently. We may ask any question related. So you should know some details about the space technology because the second theme is space technology. So you should have a general idea on that. So the first thing which I feel as your learning outcome, what you learned is to get some information and you should be acquainted with space technology. And then regarding the spoken and written forms of grammar, especially you learn the functions of grammar. And then I strongly feel, because in the first unit you have letters and second unit also you have letter writing on various themes. So now I feel that you are good at letter writing and then paraphrasing the text. So I strongly feel if I give any quotation or anything, you can write in your own words without changing the meaning. And then you're able to give oral presentation perfectly because you have worked on 4 different oral presentation styles. So third unit is travel and tourism. The third unit is travel and tourism. So in this you have 2 passages which are Southern Splendor and tourism in India. We have Southern Splendor and tourism in India. These are the 2 passages which you have in third unit. And here writing skills, you'll be learning paragraph writing and pronounce, comparative adjectives and adverbs under grammar portion, and listening comprehension, listening for a global meaning, and various ideas related to listening. So all this, and most important thing is, so listen to identify the mood of the speaker. When I was telling you the sub-skills of listening, I told you listening for attitude. So that you will be learning here. And then coming to speaking skills, it is telephonic skills and video and teleconferencing. These are the skills which you will be learning in Unit 3. So what are the experiments and activities? So here most important thing is letters and sounds, some pronouncing patterns and telephonic skills. So when I told you about the sub-skills of speaking, I told you pronunciation is very, very important. So in this letters and sounds, you learn exact pronunciation, how to go through the dictionary in order to get exact pronunciation, and what are the various rules related to silent letters and related to NG sequencing, and how past tense markers should be pronounced, or how plural markers or inflections should be pronounced, and you learn the actual place and manner of articulation. All these concepts you learn here. And then telephonic skills. So when you're talking over a telephone, so what are the etiquettes which you need to follow? All these things you learn here. And coming to theory, you learn paragraph writing, essay writing, and as usual reading comprehension. So my expectations would be you should understand the material related to travel. If I ask you to write your experiences of going abroad and coming back and spending time of 1 year, so what would be your experiences? If I ask you the question, you should be in a position to write the answer for that by sharing your experiences. And then write paragraph and essays with proper coherence. There should be proper coordination and logical connectivity when you're writing the paragraphs as well as an essay. And then pronunciation, how to pronounce the words perfectly. And proper telephonic etiquettes, how to speak over telephone. Now coming to fourth unit, it is energy sources. So this is the syllabus of unit 4. So first one, wind energy and how pertinent is the nuclear option. And then here under speaking activity you have group discussion, and listening activity you need to listen to an interview, and moreover here you will be having your interview skills. And then how to write a formal email. When you're writing an email, how to write it properly, that you learn here. Coming to the experiments, group discussion and mock interviews or lab components, and reading comprehension and email writing or activities which you do in your theory class. And my expectations, learning outcomes would be, you have to read, understand material related to energy sources, and then formal email, how to write a formal email, and you should participate in a group discussion, because group discussion is very, very important when you are going for any interviews. So last unit is media and journalism. So coming to the syllabus, evolution of media and top 10 developments in journalism in the 2000s, and these two are the passages. And then coming to the writing concept, you have information transfer, abstract writing, so interpret graphic tools, tables, pie diagrams or bar diagrams and all that, and then abstract writing and usage of ICT, information communication technology, for communication, and how to prepare a PowerPoint. These are very, very important writing strategies which you learn in this unit. And coming to listening, so listening to a situation or a scene, and you need to jot down or take notes. And then you have to coming to speaking task, it should be the individual or team presentation, especially here, because here you learn in writing, you learned about how to make a PPT and all that. So definitely this would be a team or individual PowerPoint presentation. That's very, very important. So here in the lab task, you have information transfer and oral presentation strategies. You have information transfer and oral presentation, and coming to theory topics, reading comprehension and abstract writing, and these are the outcomes. Now you just have an entire look on all these things. Now my question is, what did you learn from this entire video? So the first thing you should know, what is actually the relevance of learning English for an engineering student. Okay, for this I'd like to tell you in a nutshell, for being a professional student, what you are supposed to learn. You should learn English fluently so that you can understand any written comprehension, or you can understand when you are reading or listening to any kind of source. So listening and reading are very, very important, and even though they are receptive skills, in your subconscious mind the words which you read will be registered. So when you keep on listening, what happens is, in your subconscious mind all the words are being registered. So what happens is, when you are speaking or when you are writing, by default you will use exact word wherever it is required. So technical English or technical skills, both are very, very important for any engineering student, because you should know technical skills obviously, because that's your core subject. In order to express your technical skills, you should know English, because you will express anything in English, because English is a medium of communication. It's not subject as such. If you observe all these 5 units, I have only given you all the units based on listening, speaking, reading and writing skills. So each and every individual, you're supposed to develop your skills. Once you're skilled automatically you can express yourself in a better manner or the best manner. Okay, so for an engineering student, where English is useful? The first thing, in employment, after third year or after 3-2, when you are eligible for placements, you have to get a job. For that, you should participate in group discussions, you should attend interviews, you have to clear your written examination where vocabulary plays a vital role. For any top MNCs, you have to use English properly. For any kind of competitive exams, you need to English, and when you need to use English. When you are writing any competitive exams or when you are expressing your views, you have to take the medium of English, because when you are writing or speaking, English plays a vital role. Okay, and most importantly, when you get into BTech or any professional degree, what is there in your mind? Definitely 3 aspects. There are various because we have heterogeneous group of people, where each and every student, you have your own long term and short term goals. So for certain people, to get placed in a very good MNC is a dream, or specific, like I want to get a job in Google, or I want to get a job in Microsoft or Amazon. You have your own ideas or your own dreams. As Abdul Kalam rightly quoted, you have to dream, you have to sleep and get a dream, and most important thing, the dream should make you awaken and should not sleep till you achieve it. That's very, very important. So when you have a dream to get placed in a reputed company, first you should know how to get placed in that company. So what are the skills you need to imbibe, or what are the skills you need to inculcate in you in order to get placed in that company? So for that, English plays a vital role. In order to get placed, you should know communication skills, you should know language skills, and you should be apt in giving answers in the interview, and you should tell about yourself fluently and confidently. So all this matters. This is for the first category of people who wants to get placed in an MNC or any dream company. So second category, after BTech, you want to go abroad, study abroad. For that, you should clear various exams like GRE, TOEFL, GMAT, IELTS, all these exams. For almost all the exams, English is very, very important, and IELTS is exclusively on all these 4 skills. So remember, in BTech, especially technical English communication, nobody will teach you. We all will facilitate you. We all will help you and give you helping hand in order to come out and learn the skills, so that you will be successful in your life. This is second important thing. And third category. So first one, very interested to get a dream job. Second one, very interested to study abroad and or maybe settle abroad. Third one is to start your own business, to become entrepreneurs. So in what way it is useful for you? For trade, business, for anything, the vocabulary is being written in English, first of all. Second, if you have a beautiful idea, you have to convince others, and you need to call for a meeting. You have to express your thoughts aptly and exactly whatever is required to the audience or to the clients, and you should convince them. Convincing skills are important, and you have to convince all of them, whether they belong to our country or abroad. You need to express your thoughts and ideas in English. So in any area, whatever dream you have, if you want to get placed, if you want to go abroad, if you want to start your own startups, for anything, English plays a vital role. For engineering student, especially for employability, it's very, very important. Employability, higher education, or even if you want to crack any competitive exams, you have a couple of marks for English. So children, learn English as a medium of communication and all the subjects you write in English. All the subjects in higher education. So study English as a medium of communication and acquire the skills. Learn the skills. Don't read it as a subject. It's very, very important. And children, everybody remember, English is a global language. In this global village, unless you are acquainted with English, it will be very, very difficult for you to go and settle abroad or even other places in your own country. Okay, so it's very, very important. We will help you throughout, from starting from the first year to the final year till you get placed. All the faculty of Vignan will help you in order to reach your goal. So very important, unless you support us, we cannot help you out. So we are expecting you to develop the skills, and all the faculty members, they help you in order to excel in your skills. And in Vignan, we encourage the students to participate in co-curricular, extracurricular activities where you will be getting organizing skills, team leader qualities or leadership skills. You'll be acquiring many skills through participating in various events or organizing various events. So all these things will add value to your resume at final year. So all the students, if you are interested, identify your area of interest and try to excel in your area of interest, and make sure every day take 2 words and write the contextual meanings of those 2 words, and take the help of dictionary and write the pronunciation. Try to develop your language skills. Remember, language is very, very important. English plays a vital role. Alright, now so these are the suggested books and reference books for your English. Now in this video you have learned the importance of English and what is the relevance of technical English communication, and what are the skills and what are the sub-skills, and then unit wise syllabus with unit wise outcomes. Any doubts? If you have any queries, you can mail me. After you join here, we'll be giving you our mail IDs, so that if you have any queries, you can mail us, or immediately we will respond. So now you listen to a video, right? Just like that, if you listen to the video, you may not you may forget also, you may not feel very comfortable unless you have a homework, right? So you will be doing a homework. It's only whatever you listen to so far. So the first question, if you see here, it is, what is the difference between an integrated course and a normal theory course? Initially I told you technical English communication is a integrated course. So we want you to tell the difference between the integrated course and a normal theory course. And second one, what is the necessity of integrated course, especially for technical English communication? And third question, elucidate the importance of English for an engineering student. So for an engineering student, how English is useful. Next one, what are the learning outcomes of this course? Individually for all the units I have given you the outcomes. So you need to just rewind the video and go through all the outcomes, and in a nutshell or in an overall outcomes you are supposed to write. And imagine that you studied in a regional language, like till your 10th standard, if you are from a Telugu medium background or Tamil medium background or whatever. So imagine that you are not an English medium student till your 10th. So after joining an intermediate, you are supposed to listen to all the lectures in English, and you have to write your exams also in English, because English is the medium of communication. So now, what are your challenges? If you are a Telugu medium student, you have to mention what are the challenges which you faced, because you have experienced. Experiential learning is very, very important and useful in order to enhance your skills. And if you feel like if you are a English medium student, you have not faced any challenges. Imagine that you have faced a couple of challenges and write what are the challenges which you have faced. So thank you very much. We'll meet in the next session.